Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about nutrition or exercise. That's why we look at a holistic approach, looking at support systems, sleep, stress management, mindset, lifestyle, nutrition, and of course, exercise. We focus on a habit-based approach, teaching coaches and gym owners how to focus on one thing at a time and giving you all the systems so you can provide a professional experience to your clients. My name is Nicole Aucoin, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, we are going to teach you how to build a successful habit-based coaching program one step at a time. I'm so excited to bring on today's podcast guest, Elena de Marco. She has a wide range of nutrition education, from undergraduate degrees to master's degrees to now she is getting her PhD. She partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition to launch an amazing nutrition coaching program at her gym in Ireland. She does such an incredible job building relationships and building rapport with her clients to help them see results, but also increase length of engagement and build a successful habit-based coaching program in her gym. In today's podcast, we talk about some of the main things that she does and what I noticed from afar, how she is able to take all the information that we give to coaches, but most importantly, apply it and use it in her community internationally, all the way across the pond in Ireland. I recently read a quote and it hit home to me, and it really relates to so many people that we work with. Information without application will never amount to a transformation, or in this case, building a successful business or nutrition coaching program. I've seen so many coaches and gym owners take all of these nutrition online certifications, but they still aren't able to build a comprehensive nutrition coaching program. In fact, a dietitian actually signed up for HSN Mentoring this week because he said, "Hey, Nicole, I don't have time to reinvent the wheel here with building a nutrition coaching program." In today's podcast, we're going to talk about some simple applications so that you can take information that you might have in your head and actually apply it to your clients. But if you are looking for a total package, if you are looking to save time and not reinvent the wheel, we would love to help you at HSN Mentoring. Click the link in the show notes so that you can see how it works. All right, let's get to this podcast with Elena de Marco on developing as a nutrition coach so you can increase client results and length of engagement to grow a successful and prosperous nutrition coaching business. Enjoy. Elena, thank you so much for coming on the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Thanks for having me, Nicole.
So I want to dive right in. You have a pretty extensive education background in nutrition. Prior to coming on and partnering with Healthy Steps Nutrition, tell me a little bit about your education and what you are actually doing right now to hopefully maybe be somewhat done with school for a little bit.
Absolutely. I love how you say a little bit. That's what I tell my clients. Tell me in 3 sentences. So my undergrad, it's a little bit all over the place. So I took a gap year after high school and I lived in Africa for a little bit. I volunteered there, and that's where I realized that nutrition was my passion. So I went back to Spain. I'm on Spanish, and I started dietetics first year. Second year, I moved to Boston, and I did food science in Framingham State. And then third and fourth year, I moved to Dublin, where I currently live, and I did nutraceuticals for health and nutrition, which is a mixture of pharmaceuticals and nutrition. So it's everything, all the science behind supplements. So that's my undergrad. And I got really good grades, so I could jump right into the PhD without having to do a master's, which is something that Ireland can do for you. And so I started my PhD right away at the age of 22. And my PhD focuses on muscle protein synthesis in the elderly population via alternative food choices like fish oils and fibers and probiotics. And I'm currently in my fourth year and hoping to submit in September. And that's with UCD, which is the University College of Dublin.
Man, that's pretty amazing. So you have a wide background in nutrition, from the science behind it to the dietetic side, lots of different stuff. We could say you're all in on the nutrition. That's what I will definitely
I
say.
love it. Yeah.
You guys opened up this really premier facility in Dublin, and I remember us talking as you guys were opening up this location. You're like, "Hey, Nicole, we want to have a solid nutrition coaching program. I have all this education, but I really want to be able to deliver a professional experience." What was your goal when you guys were getting loads of equipment when you were going through training, like deliveries, there's a lot going on, but you said, "Hey, no, I want nutrition to be the foundation and a big piece of our facility." Talk to me a little bit. What was going on in your head?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I first heard your name when I was running around my partner's house, which is the co-owner of the gym with me. Well, he's the main head there. And I saw your book because he bought it ages ago, the first one that you got out. And I read it and I loved it. And it kind of made a challenge in my head for future clients. And that's how the idea started. And then as soon as we moved from the really old gym that we had to this premier location, I was like, "Hey, Grant, it's time to do the nutrition. Like, let's get it done now. I am ready to commit, but only if we go with Nicole and HSN, because there's no way I can do this by myself. Like, they've got it all figured out. And I think I can do this, but I'm a perfectionist. So it has to be done right. And definitely, like, your setup is the dream to anyone that wants to do things right without having to start from scratch and make all the mistakes that I'm sure you had to make. So
I definitely made a lot. And thank you. I'm glad that we were able to connect and we were able to help you guys. One of the things that really stands out with you as a nutrition coach and a leader of nutrition at the gym is all of your experience that you've taken, and you really simplify things for your clients. You've come on, and we do role playing as one of the things with HSN. Whenever I see you on, I'm like, "Oh, great, I'm going to call on her because I know she's going to nail it." Like, you do such a good job, really keeping clients in the driver's seat. And we talk a lot about a linear path. What does that mean to you when you're working with clients? Like, you have all this education knowledge in your head, but you simplify things so much for your clients. What's going on in your head as you're working with clients?
oh, such a good question. I guess it's your mantra of something as simple as nutrition should have been complicated. And I mean, we still struggle with our nutrition. And I think I have so much knowledge in my head, and I still struggle to make healthy choices every day. And that makes me realize it is not the knowledge, it's the tiny, tiny, tiny decisions that you make daily. And so if you can help them make these tiny, tiny decisions day after day after day, that's where they're going to succeed. So it's not about eating fruits and veg. It's about, what's your favorite fruit? When do you eat it? Where do you buy it? Do you wash it before you eat it? Do you eat it after lunch? So trying to figure out how can you best help them by tailoring your advice to their lifestyle, if that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. And I think what I keep hearing you say, and anytime that I've listened to you coach clients, it's you take things step by step. So there's no guessing when they leave you. What is something that, let's just kind of role play for a second, because you're really good at role play. Like, let's pretend, you have a client in your office and you're trying to talk to them about eating vegetables, right? Let's say they don't eat any vegetables, and you're like, "Okay, one of the goals, we want to get you to eat more whole foods. Let's talk about vegetables." What would you do with a client to help them eat more vegetables?
Yeah, sure. So I would first ask them, do you think this is something that, first of all, I ask them, what do you think would really help you? But I plant the seed as we have the consultation. So the answer is probably eating more veggies, but it comes from their mouth. So they say, "I really think I should eat more veggies." And I'm like, "Okay, brilliant. Pendo, let's say Pendo, I just love her. She's fantastic. And Pendo may say, that's like, "Okay, let's eat more veggies," but that's quite challenging because I don't know how to cook them. I haven't really had them before. So then we choose a recipe together based on the veggies that she's familiar with. We write down the recipe. She tells me which veggies she has or doesn't have, which food equipment she has or doesn't have, we literally go through Amazon or Tesco, which is our local superstore, and we find the link for each of the components that she needs. And so when I send her the reminder email, all those links are within the email. So all she has to do is click, click, click. And then we talk about where the foods are in Tesco. So all she has to do is go in and grab it. And then I ask them, based on the foods that we decide and the ingredients that we decide, what do you think can go wrong? And they might say, for example, when I go to Tesco, that food is not available. And I'm like, okay, why don't we choose another recipe so you have two options just in case that's the case. So really going down to the nitty gritty of the complete linear pathway from when they think about recipes to when they're eating the recipe, and eliminating any barriers in the way, and really adapting it to them and making them feel like superheroes for just doing that. And if they think that the recipe is too much, that's okay, which is a simpler one. If they think their full plate is too much, that's okay, let's do half a plate. And that's how it works.
I love it. You make it so simple for clients. And I think one of the things that we might do as coaches is assume our clients know some things. And when we assume that and we don't ask the questions and really lay out a simple plan, they might not know. And then it's too much for them to think about after they leave your office and they don't end up doing it and compliance is not great, but then they're not seeing the results and then they get frustrated. Right. So
Absolutely.
You eliminate a lot of those issues by walking through step by step with clients.
One of the questions I ask them is, what's your background? Because if they come from a science background, I can direct the conversation slightly different. But if they come from a history or geography or business background, then I ask them, what do you know about nutrition? Tell me 3 foods that are high in protein. And if they get them wrong, without any shame whatsoever, I can direct my conversation, because they might get frustrated if, I say something again and again that they already know. So I really try to understand where they're coming from. So I add that to the nutrition question at the beginning. What's your background? And I get a good sense of where they are. Yeah.
I love that. And I think because you personalize the plan so much, it helps to increase the length of engagement with your clients. They're not just working with you for a month. They work with you for quite a long time. One of the things that stood out with you guys, you ran your first nutrition challenge during COVID, almost a year ago at this point, and you had a 76% conversion rate from nutrition challenge participants. So 76% of people that did your challenge converted to ongoing coaching and were working with you long after the challenge, which is like a brand new concept for 99% of gym owners that are listening to this podcast, because most people run a challenge and then their support ends at the end of the challenge. But instead, you are supporting a large majority of people to continue to help them reach their goals after the challenge. Why do you think you had such a great conversion rate and you were able to continue to support so many people after your nutrition challenge?
That's a great question. So I think it's a combination of 2 things. One is, it's called here in Ireland bedside manners. I don't know what it's called in the States, but it's like the nurse or the doctor and how they engage with their clients. So I really, really try, and it's because I do care. Like I try to understand, I try to know the names of their family members. If we are doing a Zoom call, like I'll be like, oh, hey, Mikey, how's that doing? And really trying to build a connection and high five them all the time at the gym, and just randomly send them, call them and be like, I'm in this store and I found this product that I think you would like. Do you want a picture? Really engaging with them at a personal level, always in relation to nutrition. I think that's a key component. And another key component, I think, is building myself on their success long term, but in a very realistic way. So if I tell them after the challenge, they say, look, I still have 5% to lose. And I ask them, what do you think you need to lose that? Their answer normally involves continuing with me in one way or the other. So either they need the support, or they need the cheerleader, or they need the knowledge. So building my steps on the long term, but always coming from their mouth.
It definitely makes sense. And I think you do such a good job building rapport with clients. It's not just sitting down. And this is a concept that's new for a lot of people, especially, I don't know, you were in the States for a little bit doing a dietetics degree. When I went to school to be a dietitian, we didn't learn a ton of motivational interviewing and talking with clients instead of talking to clients. Like we learned all about metabolism and how to tell clients what to eat instead of working with them to create a plan that's realistic for them. which they'll stick with long term, which is a concept that you're really implementing in your entire nutrition coaching business at the gym.
Yeah, I think, again, it's not about knowledge. You definitely need a little bit of knowledge, don't get me wrong, but it really is about the habits that works for them.
Yep.
So helping them and also helping them I'm the first one that I'm like, hey, I'm not perfect by any means. And I still succeed because my progress is quite strong over time. So if I have one not so great meal over 20, you're definitely going to make a progress. That's a 5% error out of 95% success. So I think letting them know that I'm the first one that struggles with them and doing the workouts with them. And I really think that's fantastic. Like, I really think that helps them realize that we care.
Absolutely. I mean, your like care and compassion you have for people and nutrition is obvious in everything that you do. One of the things that you mentioned before we started recording is you actually signed up for nutrition coaching. So you have your own nutrition coach who is a Healthy Steps nutrition coach. Colin, he is a riot, and I'm a little bit jealous that you get to talk to him all the time. He is so funny. Well, you guys all
He's the
best. You guys are
honestly so good.
Yeah. So talk to me about, and you guys signed up for HSN mentoring prior to nutrition coaching being a part of the training. So now any new gym that comes on board the coach is getting 3 months of nutrition coaching with someone at HSN HQ. You signed up for nutrition coaching about a year or at least 6 months into being a Healthy Steps nutrition coach. How has it helped you personally and professionally?
Oh man, in so many ways. So I'll start professionally first. So seeing everything from the client's eye, it's so beneficial. And you cannot do that until you are a client. Like, you can think that you're doing that. And I thought I was doing that, but I wasn't really, until I realized that I wasn't always clicking the habits. I wasn't always, I was letting my coach down sometimes, which I get really upset when my clients let me down. But I wasn't doing it with any bad intention, and I was really trying my best. So it gave me such a good psychological flip of the coin to realize how they see things and what happens, how they feel when they succeed, how they feel when they go into that in-body scan, how they feel when they fail. Because you can't imagine it, but you can't really feel it until you feel it. So personally, that's how, well, I guess it's professionally and personally as well. Well, personally, I think as a coach, you have to do what you preach. And you have to play the part. And sometimes I struggle with my nutrition, like the most of us. And it's so helpful to have just another pair of eyes. Like Michael Phelps is the best swimmer in the world, and he's got a coach. So we all need a coach.
We all need someone. I think it's so important to get connected with people who are a few steps ahead of you in any aspect of life that you want to get better in, so that you can learn from them and have that growth mindset. And you definitely do. There's a lot of things going on with the gym and your nutrition program. You just brought on a dietitian. So now you're building this team. So it's not just you anymore at the gym. Talk to me about the future of your nutrition program.
Mm-hmm. So here in Dublin, we are in a really privileged area because there's a lot of big companies that come here for tax advantage. And I definitely see that as the golden ticket of being a nutrition. So just in our state, you've got health companies, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies that have a big budget to help their employees stay healthier. And I'm a massive believer on feeling good feels good. And I'm feeling that from Kayla because I do think that those that feel good with their body and they're nourishing their body and they're moving, they're going to be better employees. Their productivity are going to be better. They're going to be better team players. They're going to enjoy, they will get much more done in less hours, and they will definitely end up costing the company less money. So it's actually called presentism. So presentism is the amount of hours lost by being at work and not being at work. So you know yourself, maybe like being on Facebook when you should be working and things like that. So I believe that good nutrition can improve the cost of presentism, and that's what I want to sell the companies around us. So corporate nutrition and challenges will be where I think the Fianna Nutrition will head, obviously without forgetting about our amazing clients at the gym.
Yeah, you guys have nutrition only clients. You've got people in the gym that are doing nutrition. So you're building this nutrition program within the walls of your gym, but, looking at the future, it's expanding to outside and people who might not have ever found you, but connecting with different companies. And you've already set up some partnerships. You're already going out into the community.
Mhm.
But one of the things we were talking about before we started recording is employees. We're going to have to look this up a little bit more because this is such an amazing opportunity for gym owners who have dietitians in Dublin or just in Ireland in general. Companies get tax credits for giving their employees health benefits, wellness stuff like massages, nutrition coaching could be one of the things. And if you think about it, your productivity goes up, but also sick days are going to go down when people are taking care of their bodies and eating better and fueling their bodies better. And then not only that, but it's going to trickle down to their family. Like how many times do you have parents who have sick kids that have to take off work because their kids are sick? So it's not just about the employee, it's about the whole family and the ecosystem that surrounds that one person.
Absolutely. And yes, I do think that that's going to be key. And I think one of the things when I'm thinking about expanding the company, you sent an email recently and you were saying how one of your mentors told you that your time was too valuable to be on call with your clients. And that really resonated with me because the fact that you are able to build this empire that HSN is and still have extremely personal touch points with all of your HSN coaches gives me hope that I can do something similar. So build a Fianna nutrition empire without losing, my clients call it the Spanish mama worry. So without losing that care that I have for them and yet be able to expand.
I think it's so important to figure out, what brings you the most joy and keeping that so close. And to me, it's having conversations with people like you who inspire me to build this thing even bigger and better and better. And same thing with our nutrition clients. There's so many people, like when you end up growing as a business owner, and I hear so many gym owners like, oh, I don't coach at all anymore. My time's too valuable for that. Well, you open a gym because you love coaching. I don't think you need to coach every single class, but like, don't you want to have your hand in it a little bit still just to be a part of that? Like you still love it, hopefully. Yeah, I think I'm glad you read that email. I hope it, especially as a business owner, you make your own rules. So you have to figure out what brings you joy. And if coaching people doesn't bring you joy, then don't do it. But if it does, then hold on to it a little bit for sure.
And as a researcher, because I always have to quote studies that I like, they did this, it's called the happiness study. It's a massive study in Harvard. It's the biggest study they've done with, it's trying to understand happiness. And they measure different components like money, location, car that they own, and etc. And the highest correlation between happiness was with personal relationships. So those people that had the strongest bonds with other people scored the highest in happiness level. So that really stuck with me. So it's not the money, it's not the car you drive or the house you live in or the country you live in, it's the people you care about and the people who cares about you. So as a nutrition coach, imagine how many bonds you can have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many. And the cool thing about nutrition coaching, and I hear this over and over again in a gym setting, is it really does help you build relationships with clients because you're not just helping them through a workout or a movement. You're sitting down with them in a one-on-one setting, really helping them in all aspects of their life, not just nutrition, but so many other things that they're dealing with, the barriers that you were talking about earlier, obstacles that could potentially get in the way of their success. And being that person next to them to support them every step of the way, which is amazing.
Yeah. And to that point, our gym has decided, which I am so happy that Ryan, our fantastic coach, and Grant have decided to, we're going to adopt a client. So each CrossFit coach is going to adopt a set of CrossFit clients, and they're going to get personal touch points every month just to check in on their life events. And I think we HSN inspired that a little bit. That's just kind of expanding the concept.
I love it. I think that's so important. And, that's the cool thing about having a boutique fitness facility is that we are able to have those touch points and those relationships and really help other members establish those connections with each other, right? Which is so incredible. Elena, any final thoughts as we wrap up the podcast? If you have a nutrition coach listening to this and they're like, oh man, I need to go a little bit simpler with my clients. I need to help them map it out a little bit better. what is one tip you would have for them to get started on this path of keeping it simple as a nutrition coach?
Would it be a nutrition coach with HSN already? Because if it's not, it's get HSN.
I did not tell you to say that.
No, she didn't. But like, honestly, guys, like, it's just, I feel like Nicole is just silly with the price. Like, what you're getting for what you're paying is not even, it's a joke. It's not even okay. Like, I was going through the monthly content today just to get ready for this month. And so every month, so I'm going to say this, monthly content. So every month you get your Canva post for the month with everything to write on that post. You don't have to think about that. Now all she has to do is add the hashtag, and now you're good to go. And then you get nutrition talk with the notes on Google Drive or Canva. May you wish to choose one or the other. You get scripts to make videos. You get your email content. You get 2 corners, coach corners, just to touch base with other coaches. She answers, or someone from her team answers within, I want to say 24 hours, but realistically it's like 2 hours to any queries that you have. So honestly, like, blessed.
Well, thank you. And, we give you the tools similar to you giving our clients the tools, but it's all of your hard work and implementing everything to really make the changes in your community, empower people to get healthy one step at a time. I think from an HSN standpoint, it sounds like, hey, use all the stuff that we give you. If you haven't jumped into that monthly content module in a while, go back in there and grab it and use it. If it is a nutrition coach and we're talking about keeping it simple and working with clients, any tips for a coach to help them?
Yeah. So I would say role play with people can be super helpful. So since I role played with another coach that gets some tears doing the role playing, I don't know if it's confidential or not, but I've got so many clients in my office since that day. So clearly I learned something from the role playing that helped me connect to my clients better. So my one tip, I'll give 2 tips. One tip would be role play. And once you do it once, you realize it's so much fun. It's super simple. You can do it with your boyfriend. You can do it with your mom. You can do it with your friends. Literally just switch and be like, hey, thank you for coming to my clinic today. And like, it all goes from there. And the second one would be, as a client now for calling for my nutrition, it would be, sometimes it's not the nutrition they're struggling with. It's the other components of the pyramid. So it may be stress, sleep, support, mental health. So tell them that it's okay that you're not working on nutrition for that month, and explain to them how working on the other aspects may benefit them. Because if you're not sleeping well, if you're stressed out of your mind, that's really what you have to tackle. So let them know that that's okay.
I love that, using a holistic approach. And for those of you who are in HSN, that recording of what Elena was talking about with the role play of challenge conversion is, I think, the role play that you guys were doing is available on the platform. We'll put a link in the show notes so that you can easily go grab it. I know that was so powerful. I had goosebumps listening to that role play with you in Autumn. It was such a good, and she used her real life, right? So like it's so incredible what changing someone's whole lifestyle using a holistic approach can do to impact the rest of their future and their family.
Yeah. And the better you are as a coach, the better you feel overall. Like, you feel the achievement you feel when you see a client shred 15% body fat and gain 5 kilos of skeletal muscle. Like, you feel like compare that to any other job that you don't really get to impact people's lives. So, you're blessed with the job. We're blessed with the jobs that we have. And the more we use it to change the world, the better.
I love it. Well, again, thank you for coming on the podcast, and we will talk soon.
Bye, guys.
I hope you enjoyed that podcast episode with Elena. She does such a good job with a few different things that really have helped her increase client results and length of engagement and build a successful nutrition coaching business at her gym, Fianna Gyms in Ireland. The first thing that stands out to me is that she really takes time to build rapport. She cares about the actual client. It's not just getting someone signed up and collecting a payment information. It's, hey, I really want to help you transform your life. And she looks at the little details. And how she does that is really digging deep in the initial consultations, whether it be a challenge or individual coaching, figuring out the why. all of us have different reasons for why we do something, what's important to us. And she really figures that out for each client and goes back to that. The second thing that she does so well is makes it so simple for clients. So they know exactly what they need to do when they leave her office or that meeting virtually. It's so important that we give clients a clear path once they decide what they want to do. We're, as coaches and gym owners, we're here to be the guide. We're here to guide them along the way, give them tools and resources, but make it easy so they don't have to make a lot of decisions outside of meeting with us. So it's so simple and a no-brainer for them to take the action. We're hyper surrounded by so many different things. So many things are pulling our attention in the world. And if we can make it so easy for people that they don't have to think extra and they can just do what you talk about, it's going to be so much easier for them to be consistent, see results, and you're going to be able to increase length of engagement with your clients. So making it so simple. And the third thing that really stands out to me is she's confident. And I think this is what a lot of coaches lack. They lack confidence. They're not sure beyond what worked well with them. They've read different things. They've done a bunch of online certifications, but what it comes down to is she practices, she role plays, she comes on to our coach development sessions, our webinars, and she practices with other coaches to increase confidence. I can tell you, even getting my master's in nutrition, I was not a confident dietitian or nutrition coach when I graduated. Yes, I might have had degrees, but now 10 years later, I am so confident that what we do will help someone transform their life if they let them and if they let us and trust the process. And Elena's confidence trickles down to her clients. They know that if they follow her, if they do what they talk about in those consultations, they're gonna see really good results. So my question for you is, do you have confidence as a nutrition coach? Do you have confidence as a gym owner that your coaches are delivering a professional and consistent experience? And if not, we would love to help you. HSN Mentoring provides a turnkey solution for gym owners and coaches to build successful nutrition programs without reinventing the wheel. Gym owners getting started right now are launching nutrition programs in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. They're launching challenges, but they're launching the signups for the challenge within 1 to 2 weeks of signing up for our program. So they are going to be collecting revenue and gearing up so people can launch a challenge and individual coaching before the summer starts. My recommendation is you don't want to launch a nutrition challenge during the summer when people are traveling. You want to get started with that in the spring. The CrossFit Open is here. We are in the middle of it, helping people understand how nutrition plays a part with performance, recovery, and helping them become the healthiest versions of themselves. Again, we would love to help you. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to see how it works. If you're a nutrition coach listening to this podcast, grab your gym owner and jump on a call with them so that we can help you understand and see if this is a good fit and the right program for you. Hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and we'll see you back here next week.